What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another NBA rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. Tyler is back with me, and we are joined by Bobby Gomes. Bobby, how was your weekend?
Good. Just enjoying DFS and ready to hop on and talk with some NBA with you guys. Happy to have Tyler back on the show with us. He wasn't here last Monday.
Yeah, so we have Tyler back. Jefferson's in the chat. If you guys are in the chat, feel free to say hi. We will be trying to address all your questions. And I told Bobby before we started, this is going to be tough sledding today. Probably just a lot of if-thens on these DFS projections because this injury report is a minefield today. But we will do our best to navigate it through it and find the winners on the bets, on the props, and, of course, building a nice DFS core. Let's start in Charlotte, where the Hornets, who have been absolutely racked by COVID, let's look at their injury report, right? So they've got no Mason Plumlee, no Jalen McDaniels, no Terry Rozier, no LaMelo Ball. It didn't matter for them last game as they got the victory, but can they do it on a back-to-back? They're catching 6.5 against the Sixers. This number was as high as 7.5. I agree with the market here. I thought this was too many points. Obviously, Charlotte's doing bad, but Philadelphia is not a team that I trust to win by margin on the road. At home, I would have laid double digits in this scenario. But in Charlotte, I don't know. I just don't trust Philly. And we know that this team is really Embiid based. Sometimes he can kind of sputter in the fourth quarter as his conditioning catches up to him. So I lean Charlotte here. And guess what, boys? AP will be happy about this. Overs are back for the second week in a row. Overs hit more than unders in the NBA, and the numbers are kind of fluctuating. We're seeing it stabilize here. A 216.5 in this game. I'll start with you, Tyler. What are your thoughts on the 76ers and the Hornets?
Yeah, looking at it, I think Philly's the right side. I'm on the other side than you because I just think this is a bad matchup for them. They have no big man. Plumlee's on that COVID list. You look at the big men they played yesterday. Nick Richards played 7 minutes. PJ Washington played 38. And a guy with the last name Thor played 12.
JT Thor? You're not a big JT Thor guy?
No. None of those guys are even close to big enough to guard Embiid.
Right.
He's going to feast on them today. So I think his over 26.5 points is a play, and his over 13.5 rebounds is also a play. I like the points a bit better because I think it's a bit short. And I think they win the game, and I think you could take out the spread by taking the 25-plus points in the win on FanDuel, and it gives you plus 135.
Yeah, I like that better. Also, you got to remember Charlotte 0-4 this season on back-to-backs. So I didn't bet it for Charlotte. That was just my lean. Bobby, what's your thinking here on the Hornets and the 76ers? What's your breakdown?
Yeah, so with Mason Plumlee, McDaniels, Rozier, and LaMelo Ball out, Ish Smith is going to look good. We're going to have a lot of Charlotte value in general. PJ Washington at 5,700, I think, would assume more usage. You can make a case for Cody Martin at 3,900. Kelly Oubre 5,800. The issue is there's a ton of injuries on the slate, and do we really want to pigeonhole ourselves early on in the slate in terms of value? I guess but we might get more news up to lock, so it's tough to say. What are the best plays right now? I feel like my favorite play would be Ish though from the Charlotte side, and then Tyler hit on it. Charlotte doesn't really have anyone to deal with Embiid. I really like Embiid in this spot. I think I'll take the 76ers and the 6.5, even though it would be if Tobias Harris got ruled out, maybe I would think about it. But as of right now, I'd lean 76ers.
Yeah, and like I said, I couldn't actually get there towards placing a bet on the Hornets. Just my original thinking was it is too much. But boy, you guys make great points. And like I said, Charlotte has not been good on back-to-backs all season. And you know what? I forgot I was supposed to lead with this, and we've been supposed to do this since last week, Tyler. So today, guys, here is the deal. We have a Run Pure Bets t-shirt giveaway. Okay, I should have led with this, so apologies, it's happening right now. But if you're watching, here we go. So what you need to do is you need to be following the Run Pure Bets Twitter account, retweet this show from my Twitter account, and then you put a winner in the comment section. And then tomorrow with Travis, we're going to go ahead. If you did the 2 retweets following the accounts, and you throw a winner in the comments, we'll check them all. Before tip. You can't do it at 8 p.m. It's time stamped. You will be in a drawing, and we will do the drawing to send out some Run Pure Bets t-shirts tomorrow. So we will go ahead and get that started. So by the end of the show, put them in the YouTube comments, and you can, tail or fade, as they like to say. So I've been forgetting to do this, but we have the T-shirts, and we want to give them to you guys. I rep Run Pure when I go out, and we want you guys too. So sorry for the delay. Sorry for doing that out of order, but hey, getting free stuff can never be a bad deal. And
what were the 3 things they had to do again? I'm just going to comment it in there so you can put a banner up on the screen so anybody that joins afterwards could see it.
Okay, so you gotta follow the Run Pure Bets account, follow retweet my tweet for this show, and then go ahead and have a winner on a side total or prop in the comment section.
Okay.
So yeah, if you put that out actually in the comments or something, that'd be great, and I will navigate through this. So sorry for the delay, everybody watching, and Bobby, of course, but I did have to get that out because JJ and I have been talking about that since Wednesday, and I keep forgetting towards the end of the show. So we have the T-shirt giveaway, and that should be a lot of fun. The Oklahoma City Thunder have been taking Monday because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been ruled in. Boy, that was rough when he got ruled out the other night, right? And they had the historic loss, right? And that was the only one I got wrong on the spreadsheet. So if you're going to lose, you're going to lose in style. But also, I think what is kind of underrated in there is Derek Favors and Kenrick Williams are coming back too, which is 2 veteran players that I think really helps this young Thunder team and kind of gives it some balance. So the Thunder were +5. It's down to 3. That's telling me that the market thinks that the Pistons are 0.5 points better than the Thunder, which to me is about right. I mean, you can argue about Cade or SGA being the best player, but they're really close here. Tyler, we'll start with you. Who would you like, the Thunder or the Pistons here?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a coin flip, like you said, with everything best player on the court. It's just a battle of bad teams. Give me OKC here, though, because they had to hear all that noise about that historic loss the last couple of days. Mm-hmm. You got to think they're tired of hearing it. I think they're going to come in here, get a win. SGA's back. But I think I found a prop that's pretty much a lock here. Giddy over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. I mean, the dude puts up numbers in those 2 categories. He's hit that number over 6 of his last 8 games. Mm-hmm. In the 2 games he lost, he had 11. So he lost by the hook. But I think we're going to get right around there in this same spot.
I like that. I will be joining you on that. Giddy over rebounds and assists, 11.5. Bobby, do you like that prop, and what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I like Giddy. I don't mind in terms of DFS. Like, there's not too much I like. I would say Giddy at 6,800 on DK, but there's just so much other value. Then on the other side with the Pistons, Diallo's out, Corey Joseph's doubtful. Cade, maybe like you could maybe take a shot on Cade and GBPs. I think Isaiah Stewart would be probably my favorite Piston. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really have much interest in this game, I would say. I think if I had to lean one way or another in terms of just picking the game, I'd probably lean taking the Thunder.
All right, so we all like the Thunder here. The total 204. That's pretty low. Is this one going to go over? What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I lean towards the over. I think it's just too short.
Yeah.
You get some foul calls late, some late free throws. It's going to creep up over.
Bobby, you think this is going to go over that 204?
Yeah, I think this will go over the 204. The total itself is part of the reason I don't have a ton of interest in terms of DFS. But yeah, 204.
Yeah. So we got a 204 total, and in a slate that's just riddled with injury news, right? Yeah. This is the one where it's actually green and not red or blue on my basketball monster, right? So that's definitely. I mean, on the Pistons side, they're missing Hamidou Diallo, and Corey Joseph is doubtful, right? I mean, that's like 2% usage right there that they're missing. So pretty healthy teams facing off, and we like the Thunder. If you got it earlier in the day, congrats to you, but I still think it's good at +3. Let's move on to the next game. The Washington Wizards are now out to +5.5, heading to Indiana to take on the Pacers. And that's, of course, because Spencer Dinwiddie will be out. Justin Holiday's out as well here. So a pretty healthy Pacers team. I can't lay 5.5 with the Pacers. I don't care if Spencer Dinwiddie's missing. I don't know. I haven't been high on this team all year. I think maybe I bet on them once out of the 22 games they played. I probably faded them 4 or 5 times. And they beat me a couple, but I think I'm like 3 or 2 fading them. I'm not high in Indiana. I'm going to grab the points with Washington, even with Dinwiddie out. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
I mean, I think this is another spot. We've picked out a couple of these spots the last couple of times on the rundown. The big men just dominate the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Washington doesn't have one really. Gafford's going to be their big man. So the bonus is going to feast on this team on the inside.
Okay.
Unless Washington shoots lights out from the outside, I think Indiana is going to do enough to win the game. So give me the Indiana side. And Sabonis over 11.5 rebounds minus 120. I think we got to hit that because that number is just going to keep going up.
Do you have one of those cool player props?
What,
Like,
the performance doubles?
Yeah.
Here, I'll pull up FanDuel real quick and see.
You pull that up, and then Bobby can give his breakdown. What do you think, man? I think it's 5.5 is too much for this Wizards team, but Tyler did hit it on the head. So talk about the spread, and then I actually was considering Sabonis as a spend up. So give me some feedback on that as well.
Yeah, I'm with Tyler in terms of taking the Indy side. I think Indiana's getting better, right? Like for the majority of the season, they weren't healthy. It's pretty much a full squad. Only guy that's not playing, I think, is Justin Holiday.
Holiday's out.
Holiday's out, so they're pretty much full. I like, in terms of DFS, like I think Duarte grades out well on the Indiana side. I don't really play a ton of Indiana Pacers. You could make a case for Sabonis, like obviously Washington is that like with Gafford, Harrell. I actually think Harrell's interesting, but like with Gafford and Harrell, Sabonis could really crush on the inside, like you guys kind of broke down. So if there was one pacer I wouldn't mind, it'd be Sabonis. And I guess Duarte, obviously, because of the price tag, but everyone else I just don't have any interest in. On the Washington side, I think you can make a case for Aaron Holiday at 3-1 and then Harrell at 5-2. Those would be the only Wizards I'd consider. But like I said, there's a ton of value, so it's just like, do we really want to play those guys?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think that Duarte's would be a great option on a smaller slate, right?
Yeah.
And maybe like if everybody's ruled in, right? If Giannis is ruled in, Towns is ruled in, Tobias is ruled in, right? And we're all this like potential value that I'm seeing kind of disappears. But I think tonight it would be fine to stay away from him. And then at 10K, I don't know, Sabonis. I'll probably, because I think I'm going to make a lot of lineups tonight just because I think there's going to be a lot of cool options. And I think there's going to be multiple values and then multiple spend ups that I'm going to be interested in. So I'll probably throw them in one or two, but that could be a feast or famine idea right there. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are doing a t-shirt giveaway. Follow the Run Pure Bets account, retweet the link for my account, and post a winner in the chat, a side, total, or prop, and you will be in a drawing for tomorrow to go ahead and win a Run Pure Bets t-shirt. Let's move on. Oh, I didn't touch the total. 211.5. I was complete. The reason I didn't touch it, I'm completely off it. Tyler, am I missing value?
No, I mean, I don't think you're missing value, but if you made me pick a side, I'm leaning over. Okay. And I pulled up those performance doubles for Sabonis.
Yeah.
Sabonis double Indiana wins is plus 110, and Sabonis 13 rebounds and Indiana wins is plus 230. I don't hate either of those.
You don't think Turner vultures too many rebounds there?
No, I mean, he's put up numbers before, even with Turner on the floor.
Yeah.
And if we think this is a big spot for him to have a great game, I mean, you can get even ballsy with it. Sabonis triple-double and Indiana wins is 20-1.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's not going to get there on assists.
I mean, he's gotten there before this year.
Well, I mean, what's his prop just for 10-plus assists on its own?
Here, let me pull that up.
Bobby, would any of those interest you? The ones that he mentioned there?
Yeah, I think both for Sabonis are interesting.
14-1.
With Gafford and Harrell defense for Sabonis, like
because they're both smaller. I think Harrell can do all right on Sabonis on the outside. I think he's going to get torched on the inside. So you guys are probably correct there. I'm still not ready to lay points with this Pacers squad. So I didn't bet it though. I didn't bet the Wizards. I'm just telling you, I lean that way. And we'll see. Maybe they put a couple wins in there, and I'll be a little more confident. This is another game with the news that we were waiting on. The Memphis Grizzlies are plus 4.5. Now we know Memphis will be without John Morant, but we are waiting for the news on Jimmy Butler because I think that changes everything. I like Memphis here, especially if Butler sits. And my idea is without Adebayo, this is a tough matchup there with you got Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson. So you have two different ways to attack the weakness in the middle. Like there's a reason that Dwayne Dedmon's been on like 10 different teams in the last 5 years. Like he's serviceable, but he's definitely not good. And he'd be the player that I'd definitely be attacking on the rest of that Heat defense because, you know, most of them are pretty good defenders except for Hero and Robinson, right? But so Dedmon's going to be targeted. I think those bigs in Memphis get a big boost here. And hey, Memphis has won 4 in a row, right? They're not playing that bad. Tyler has a reason, right? They're doing it for the culture. Tyler, why don't you talk to us about Memphis and the reasons they're playing so well?
I mean, they're playing good. I think it's just superstar subtraction, like you've always said.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as for this matchup, looking at it, you said it. Jimmy Butler might sit. I think these props don't matter even if he does sit. You look at Memphis's 3-point defense, they're the second worst 3-point defense. They give up almost 40% threes. This offense has got to come somewhere from Miami outside of Butler if he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Duncan Robinson's going to come running around these screens, and you're going to have guys with Steven Adams trying to catch these guys off these screens, and Jaren Jackson, who's not a very good defender. I like them over 2.5 threes at minus 130. And on FanDuel, you can even go up to 4+ threes and 5+ threes. 5+ threes is plus 530. And we've seen him catch fire in games where he made 6 to 7.
My only concern there is we haven't seen it this year. Last year, Duncan shot 41% from behind the arc. This year, he's 33%. No worries there?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's done it a couple of times this year where he's put up at least 5 or 6. I'll pull it up right now, his game log.
Yeah, I just know that he's not been the shooter that he was.
If there was ever a matchup for him to do it, though, it's this one.
You think so? Because what if he gets like Brooks and those guys out there?
Yeah, but they're going to be getting the screen set on him. They're not going to be able to fight through the screen. The big man's going to have to be up there to catch him off the screen. It's going to be Adams. He's not coming out there.
Maybe I just have more faith in Jaren Jackson Jr. Bobby, where do you stand on this little debate?
For me, I think it might be a good get-right spot for Duncan, and people aren't going to own him in DFS.
Okay, so two against one for Duncan.
Here's his 3 log. He made 3 last game, 4 the game before that. The game before that, he went 0 for 6. The game before that, he went 1 for 9. The 2 games before that, he made 4 and 5.
Okay, so, that's not bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, he might be catching fire here.
Yeah, it seems like, when I'm talking about that 33% percentage, because I didn't look at the individual game log, those 2 games that he was cold, pretty much tanked that percentage.
Oh, when he's cold, he is really cold. He just misses them all.
Yeah, but who was that one guy that ate the gummies? He was on the Heat for a while, too.
Waiters.
Yeah, I remember he said, I'd rather go 0 for 27 than 0 for 9 because that means I lost confidence. All right. So, Bobby, what were your thoughts on this game? I like Memphis. Do you think that they can get it done in Miami?
I like the Memphis. I'm going to take Memphis in the points with you. I do like the Duncan call, like Tyler said. Jimmy Butler's grading out well if he sits. I wouldn't mind going there. Dedmon, I would not play. He's $5K. He's priced up. Even with like Bam out, I feel like he's all right, but I definitely wouldn't play him in GBP.
Like, wouldn't you rather have Adams, even though we're not going to get there? Because I don't think you want a 5K center on this slate. But, I mean, just if you were choosing just from this game, would you rather have Adams or Dedmon?
Yeah, I'd prefer Adams, obviously.
Yeah, same here.
I wouldn't pay $5,000 for Dedmon. But, yeah, I like the Memphis side. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't really have a ton of interest anywhere else. The 4.5, I think, is fine. Is that what it's up to now? 4.5?
Yeah, and that to me, because it was going to 5 and 5.5 earlier today. Yeah. Maybe it's an idea that Butler's going to sit, right, with the money moving that way. If Butler sits, I'm seeing Hero at 7,300 probably get like 20 shot attempts. Would you any interest in him?
Yeah, like Hero obviously would definitely come into play, especially with the way they defend the 3 and how good Hero's been this season. I don't mind Hero at all.
All right, and Joel Nolasco in the chat with the awesome Dion Waiters trivia. Dion Waiters had his teammates refer to him as Kobe Wade when he played at Syracuse. So that guy's definitely not lacking for confidence. Does have a tendency to overeat the gummy bears, though. Let's move on to the next game. The Denver Nuggets plus 3.5, heading to Chicago to take on the Bulls. This number was a little higher. Was there any news, or is it just a market move? But there's so much here on this sheet today. Austin Rivers injured, Bones Highland out, Ball out. Oh, Alex Caruso doubtful. That's got to be where that point came from, because I'd say he's worth about a point. Kobe White still out and Javonte Green still out. Tyler, I didn't know what to make of this game. I don't even have a lean. Why don't you take us through it here and help me out? 10-game slate, right? I can't have strong sides on everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. Out of all the games, though, we usually throw out the bad matchups. I mean, This is a matchup between 2 pretty good teams, but I just can't find a spot to identify in this game. So I'm throwing this one out on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird. This Denver team is just, they're so depleted at guard, man. It's just so terrible. And as good as Levine and DeRozan have been, I mean, Jokic is still going to be the best player on the floor. So, I mean, if you told me, hey, I'm taking Denver in the 4.5, I mean, I can't really fault you. At the same time, Chicago's depth is going to be ridiculous. They're going to absolutely crush those bench minutes. Like, you remember when those old LeBron teams when he would go to the bench like down 2 and he'd come back in and they down 11. He's only out for like a minute and a half. I have a feeling it could be like that with Chicago tonight. So I figure you can make good arguments on both sides. Bobby, we're all acting like Switzerland. Did you want to take a stand?
On the Chicago side?
Did you, or either side? I mean, I just don't know what to do with this game.
For me, I don't know. I think you can make a case for the Nuggets. I don't know. I like the Nuggets. I keep telling the Nuggets. I don't like Rivers, Bones, Highland, Bobo are out. Kobe White, Javante Green out. Caruso doubtful. Yeah, there's no real Chicago guys I want to play. Derek Jones Jr. 3-6. Yeah, if I had to take a stand, I'd take the Nuggets and the points, but everywhere else, I don't have a clue.
That's cool. How are we going about this for DFS? It seems like some of our value guys, because now the prices have adjusted, right? Campazzo's even up to 4-1. How about this Zeke Najee character? Have you watched him? And he had a great game last game. Throw him in the lineup. What are you thinking? Is there any value here? Or are we looking to other games, Bobby?
I don't know how high I'd be on Zeke. The guy I think that's kind of popping for me is Derek Jones Jr. on the Chicago side.
Really? And why is that?
Just 3,600. He's going to see the minutes.
And that's assuming Caruso sits, though, right? If Caruso plays,
Caruso sits, yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Outside of that, I don't have much interest. You always could have interest in Jokic, but
right.
I don't know. Just I don't really love this game as much as you like in general, just like you guys.
Nolly's in the chat talking about he wants to D you up in some 21.
Yeah, I seen it. He'd probably get me right now. I haven't played in a while. Once I knock the rust off, though, I'd give him some buckets.
All right. We'll have to organize a Run Pure basketball game. And guys, if you're just joining us, t-shirt giveaway, follow the Run Pure Bets account, retweet the show link, and then post a winner in the comment section. And you'll go ahead and be entered in a drawing to win a Run Pure Bets t-shirt. One more question for you, Bobby, before we move on. So let's say money's not an issue. I'm at utility and I got money for both. Who do you think will have a bigger game tonight, Jokic or Embiid?
That's a tough one. I like Jokic always, but this is a really good spot for Embiid, so I'm going to lean Embiid.
Isn't it kind of a good spot for Jokic though? Like Vukovic is very spot. Good. Like
yeah.
who's gonna?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'd be more. I think I still lean the Embiid side. I feel like my projection is like Jokic, but I still lean the Embiid side.
And that's why I said I'm making multiple tonight because there's gonna be so much value. Like I'd be pissed, right, if it's like, oh, I would have, hit a big thing except for I picked the wrong spend up. So I'll probably grab the value from all the cores that you guys provide over at Run Pure Sports. And then go ahead and run 2 different lineups, one where I spend it for Jokic, one where I spend it for Embiid. If you want access to those scores, head on over to runpuresports.com. Use the promo code GETBETS to become a member. The Atlanta Hawks are +2, heading to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. Total is 222.5. This is another tough one, Tyler. You know that I love me some Anthony Edwards, right? But he's been where's this injury report? This one's pretty bad too. So wait, Edwards is not on it. But Jalen Noel, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, and Patrick Beverley all questionable for the Timberwolves. Jaden McDaniels is probable. Cam Reddish questionable on the Atlanta side. I mean, obviously, we can't really cap this game until we have the news. I mean, I don't even know what to make of this. What are you thinking about here, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, this is an ugly game. The only thing I found that I liked was because I think Cat's going to end up sitting, and even if he plays it. Yeah, even if he plays a tailbone injury, he's not going to be wanting to bang around in the paint with Capella. And They have Capella's rebounds prop set at 12.5. I definitely like the over there.
You're not worried about Naz Reid stealing those rebounds?
No, I mean, he's only like 6'9". Ain't that big guy.
I actually do like Naz Reid as a player, though. He's kind of like budget Montrezl Harrell to me. Bobby, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I've been pretty pressed with Minnesota. If Cat sits, though, I don't want anything to do with this game also. I like the call by Tyler on Capella's over on rebounds. In terms of DFS, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell. What's weird is like when these three guys have played, they've all been getting it done. They've all been able to get it done like together, which is kind of insane because they're pretty much you would think that they'd feed into each other, but at the prices, like it just hasn't worked out that way. But their prices are going to change and probably escalate as if they keep playing well. I outside of that, like I think Capella's a good DFS play, like him, like John Collins. In terms of anyone else, like I think they're more good GPP plays. Don't mind Edwards. I don't know. Outside of that, not really too much.
I mean, if Towns and Russell were to both sit, I mean, would Edwards just be like lock, like 90% owned and stuff?
Yeah, without a doubt. Like that's why this is why we need news. It's tough on the slate because we have very little.
Yeah, guys. So we're going to be more bets heavy today because I told Bobby. I mean, trying to predict this now, especially because usually like there's ways that we can lean. You know, like Tyler leans that Towns is going to sit, so I'm like, okay, I'm having interest in a couple of these Timberwolves. But I think if Russell sits too, I mean, it just opens up to where if both of them sit, you'd probably be filling in some other guys too, wouldn't you? Who else would you be looking at if both of them sit?
Like Pat Bev, I feel like would get a boost in some sense. Beasley from three. Yeah, I don't mind Beasley. What's the case with Vanderbilt? Is he out or is he? Which Vanderbilt? I feel like I read something that someone was.
Right now, I see Vanderbilt as good to play.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt's fine. Yeah, they would all pretty much get a bump. All these Bulls guys. I like the run back big options like Capella, John Collins. I think those guys are interesting.
Yeah, John Collins has been playing well as of late. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 6.5 to the Milwaukee Bucks. Tyler, I almost bet the Cavaliers this morning at plus 7, but we talked about it. You know, I mean, the Cavaliers are good, right? And we expected them to be a lottery team, and now it looks like they're going to be a playoff team. And I'm not necessarily surprised, but I don't know if they made the jump from like lottery to elite yet. Now they're facing a Milwaukee team that, I mean, if Giannis sits, I think the Cavaliers do have a great chance, right? But assuming Giannis plays, it seems like it's going to be hard for them. I didn't really know what to do with this here. My number said take the Cavaliers, but my brain said, hold on, I think you're getting trapped. Well, what do you think? Who should I trust here? Numbers or brain?
I'm thinking numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Cavs side here. So I think Giannis probably is going to sit. This is an actual injury, right? Like this isn't a rest spot for him.
No, it's a calf.
I think he's going to sit. I think this is another spot where the big men for Cleveland are just going to have a giant advantage. Like Bobby Portis is a very aggressive guy on there, but he's only 6'8", 6'9".
He's not even that, I don't think.
Yeah, Cleveland's bringing in 3 7-footers. They bring in their starting rotation. So I like the Cleveland side here. I even don't mind taking like a Jared Allen double when they win the game. I don't see it posted on FanDuel yet because there's not much for this game.
Because of Giannis. Yeah.
Yep. But once we get that, I think that's definitely worth a look.
All right, Bobby, if Giannis sits, who would you have interest in here in this game? And go ahead and just tell us what you think of the side in total.
Yeah, Portis, Drew, Middleton, but they're kind of priced up for Giannis having already been sitting this last week.
Yeah, I see that.
Totally, but they're priced up enough to where like there's going to be so much other value opening up. Like I never liked Middleton chalk.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to end up getting there. Cleveland, I like the Cleveland. I'm with you guys. I like the Cleveland side. I like the bigs on the Cleveland side. Whether it's Markkanen, or Jared Allen. I think those guys are interesting. Those would be the guys in terms of DFS that I have interest in. In terms of GPPs, Ricky Rubio at 5'6" too.
Yeah, it's still a little bitter at Mobley. On Friday, me and AP built a 4-man core. 3 of them crushed. But my pick of Evan Mobley was the one that made that one rough. I think we still min cashed. Dude, the rest of the core was so good, but it's just one of those, disappointing. But I wouldn't mind going back to Mobley here tonight. I think you're right.
Yeah, Mobley's 6'6". He's his price is good.
They dropped him because when I put him in there, he was 7'5", and then he had a bad game, and so now they dropped him a K, and it was like, wow. I think maybe because he's a rookie, it fluctuates more. I swear I'm going to figure out how this algorithm works at some point, It's just weird.
It's just usage in minutes.
Yeah, but sometimes guys will go off and they won't go up at all, and then sometimes they'll go off and they go up like 1,500.
Yeah, I guess it's in the context of the slate too, other stuff like that.
Yeah, I would love. And I'll bet you, because Hoop and I always joke about it. It's this huge mystery. I'll bet you if we ever do find out, it'll be like the simplest algorithm, right? Because they make their money really off the rake. It doesn't really matter if they misprice people. It's not like a sports book, right? Where if they put up a price wrong, it costs them like thousands of dollars. It's they put it up, then it's just a guy with 70% ownership and almost like a free square, like you always like to talk about. All right, well, you guys are talking me into the Cavs there. I'm glad that my numbers, you guys agree with my numbers, because hey, I'd rather have my numbers be good. The San Antonio Spurs are plus 7.5 heading to Phoenix to take on the Suns. The Suns in a get right or get back or bounce back, whatever you want to call it, because they got housed by the Warriors. What was that? I don't know, Friday or Saturday night. Oh, it's Friday night, because then the Warriors lost the night after to the Spurs. Now they play again. They're in Phoenix. Everybody expects Phoenix to bounce back, but I like the Spurs to keep it close and get the cover. What are your thoughts, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same side as you. I think Phoenix wins the game, but I think the Spurs do keep it close. I mean, DeJounte Murray's having himself a year. He's playing great. There's going to be still no Devin Booker for Phoenix. I think that's a big impact for their offense.
Yeah.
And I think DeJounte Murray, with him drawing Chris Paul defense, and we said it before, he's getting old. That defense ain't the same anymore. Murray's going to have another big game here, so I don't hate even taking him over 18.5 points.
All right. What is your thoughts on this game? Do you like the Suns or the Spurs, Bobby?
Yeah. So in terms of I like the Spurs to cover in terms of DFS with Booker out. Payne, I hate playing Shamet, but he's projecting all right. DeAndre Ayton, I think, is in a good spot at 7-4. Yeah, Chris Paul, I think, is another one that you could play versus Murray. I wouldn't mind that. I think all these Suns guys are in play. In terms of the game, like I said, I think I like the Spurs to cover the 7.5.
All right, if you have your projections up, right, and I'm down towards the end, and I'm just trying to fill it in the end, and so of these kind of four, I'd say below mid-tier guys, Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, Cam Payne, or Landry Shamet. If money's not an issue, who do you think is the best option out of these players?
I think Payne at 4K would be the guy I'd have the most interest in.
All right, so he likes Cam Payne, and we both like the Spurs. Let's move on to the Clippers, who are now -3. Heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Why did that line move? CJ McCollum got moved up to probable. Anthony Simmons is out. Nasir Little's out. Of course, Damian Lillard's out. And Batum's out for the Clippers. I like the Clippers here. Paul George is going to be by far the best player on the floor here. And honestly, without Dame Lillard, this Clippers team this Blazers team is really bad. They're like Kings, like Thunder, Pistons level bad in my mind. I don't know. There's just not a lot there to be excited about. CJ can score, but he's a bad defender. Nurkic is an okay defender, but he's not as good as he used to be. Robert Covington's kind of fallen off on the defensive end. Larry Nance doesn't get the run, even though he's one of their best defenders. I don't know. They're a small team that doesn't really defend well, and with Dame out, has problems shooting. I like the Clippers here. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I like the Clippers here too. I'm surprised it's that short, but Portland has played well at home. They're going to need somewhere for the offense to come from outside of CJ McCollum. I see Anthony Simons is out also, so there's your bench guy gone.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at it, Nurkic is going to have to score more than 14 points here, and his points prop is 13.5. So I don't hate taking that over. But for the most part, I'm just going to stay away from this game.
All right. If you're just joining us, we are doing a Run Pure Bets t-shirt giveaway. Follow the Run Pure Bets account, retweet the show link, and then post a winner in the comment section. We will do a giveaway tomorrow. Bobby, what are your thoughts on this game? Tyler and I like the Clippers.
Yeah, I like the Clippers also, especially if CJ ends up sitting. Then you're getting some value if you bet the Clippers early, I guess. I don't mind guys that I think would pop in that situation, or guys I think are popping anyways. Dennis Smith Jr., someone who's popping, Norman Powell. Those are guys that I would have interest in and probably have more interest in if CJ McCollum sits.
Yeah, can you believe Dennis Smith Jr. is getting run?
They don't have anyone. They're totally depleted.
Yeah. What's his price? Sorry, I didn't pull that game up real quick.
He's 5,300.
Really? That's you would still have interest in him at that price?
I think so, yeah, because if CJ it'd be more based on if CJ wasn't playing, right? Like the
Right.
percentage usage is going to skyrocket, and a lot of these
Yeah.
other people are going to spend up early on these guards. Maybe it's a way if you wait on that, if you have if you have conviction if CJ is going to sit or not. Just a different way you spend it point guard and then maybe spend down at one of the big spots. I don't know. I haven't really thought through the slate that much, but with all this news, but I think if
Okay.
CJ sits, it leaves a lot.
There's so much value on the board. We are going to be able to spend up. Paul George sitting here at 10-6. What are your thoughts on him? Is he popping in any of your projections?
I don't have any Paul George. Well, like I feel like he has at 8-9. I feel like you could definitely consider him. I think there's better. Like I feel like there's better spends.
Okay.
But yeah, 8-9. 8-9's not a bad tag for him.
He's 10-6 on DK.
Oh, he's 10. Where am I reading 8-9? Why
Maybe FanDuel.
Oh no, I see why. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying. He's like a legit spend up. He's
I'd have
400 less than Embiid.
Yeah, I just looked at a different projection set, and it was FD instead of DK, not the one I've been using all show.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I think if you're doing the MME, you're doing multiple lineups. Today, which I'm going to do because I think there's going to be so much value. Like I just want pieces of everything. I think he's a good way to get different. His ownership's going to be low tonight, right? Because everyone's going to go Jokic and Embiid on these spend ups, right?
Yeah, no one's going to play Paul George.
Yeah, so I think he's an interesting way to get different, and that way you can be all alone at the top of the leaderboard if your value gets in there. So it seems like everybody likes the Clippers here. Anyone have a thought on this total of 216? I like the over.
Yeah, I don't hate the over. I think it's just going to be an up and down tempo game.
Mm-hmm.
I just see them good.
No, you can finish.
I was going to see them pushing the ball. CJ McCollum doesn't play really much defense. They're going to be shorthanded, so they're not going to be playing much defense at all.
And if Dennis Smith Jr. comes in, he's even worse at defense.
Yeah, he's terrible on defense.
Yeah.
So we know that. What's the deal with CJ? Is he going to play or not play?
I see
he was questionable this morning. He's up to probable, so I'm thinking he plays.
I didn't really realize they had upgraded the tag, so never mind. Forget all these Portland guys. But yeah, I wouldn't mind the over in that scenario.
Yeah, We the People says definitely under. Hey, Mr. We the People, throw the reasons in the chat, and we will get onto that. So yeah, if CJ plays, we can pretty much take Blazers all the way out of our lineups, right?
Yeah. I don't want to play CJ at all.
Okay, let's go on to the mismatch of the night. The Orlando Magic plus 16. Golden State Warriors minus 16. I am glad that this man is in the chat because we're taking the points. I'm grabbing 16 points, man. I mean, it just seems like it's just too much. Like, I know it's kind of stupid. I'm not going to bet it, but if we're picking every game, I mean, you're basically betting on these reserves here. I don't know. I think that Orlando will still run their starters. I think the Warriors will cut their guys early. There's a good chance that they get the cover. Tyler, am I crazy?
No, I mean, it's a lot of points. I can see Golden State just kind of just toying with them for the most part, but I'm just going to stay away from the side.
Mm-hmm.
Curry's points prop at 28.5 seems a bit short. I think he's definitely good for 30 against Cole Anthony, who doesn't play a lick of defense, and neither do the other guards for this team. So I could see this being an explosion spot for him.
Yeah, Curry 11-7 there. We talked about spend ups. He's another good option tonight. But Bobby, would you be worried about minutes there? I mean, this got a blowout written all over it.
I'd have no interest in Curry, and especially in terms of the Magic, like not really much interest there either. In terms of betting this game, I'll take. I think the 16 is too many for an NBA team, right? Like, even though I don't know if the Orlando Magic are a borderline G League team, professional, like it's tough to really pinpoint what they are. But yeah, I think I'd take the 16 too.
Yeah. Now, DFS here, Cole Anthony, we talked about him being bad on defense, but hey, he's pretty good on offense, and he's been pretty good as a daily fantasy player. His price tag is now at $8K. What are your thoughts on Cole Anthony at $8K, and how's he projecting for you?
Yeah, Cole's treated me well. There's a lot of other plays that are projecting well also, though. And then if this game does blow out, is he going to see that similar run? Same situation kind of with Curry. It would be questionable.
But don't you think he's got a better chance to stay in just because he's young and he needs the experience?
Yeah, but he's still like the main player on that team, right? So they'd probably give him a break prior to everyone else. But yeah, I feel like if they do keep it close, like, is there a chance? Is there a possibility like Curry it's a Monday night versus Orlando?
No.
No.
I think the possibility is that he only runs 28 to 32.
Yeah.
I don't think it would talk about, I don't know, breaking the slate, but I mean, news that would be unexpected. Like when Shea got pulled and then that terrible loss. I mean, there was no word of it. And I know everyone's like, well, he got banged in the head the night before. I said, but he wasn't on any of the injury reports. Not the one that, we'll go West Coast time here. Not the one that came out at 10:30. Not the other one that comes out at 12:30 or 10 o'clock. Not the one that comes out at 12:30, right? He wasn't on any of those. And then they just pulled him at 3:30 my time and the game started at 4 my time. So
that's
if
the NBA.
Curry sat, that would be a huge surprise. I mean, I guess crazier things have happened, but he's pretty adamant about playing most of his games, and I think the way that Kerr would approach it would just be limiting his minutes and just trying to win, and then just not giving him the fourth quarter run.
I definitely see Kerr limiting his minutes, like without a doubt.
Yeah, so I see why you have no injury there. Interest there. Is there any of these like role players that like maybe we attack because we think they get more minutes like in a blowout, like maybe like a Damian Lee at 3,300 or?
Yeah, not too much. Like Otto Porter's been playing well. You could consider him. Jordan Poole, maybe if Curry's limited. If Curry's minutes get limited, like he'd be the direct beneficiary at 6'2". Talking about a lot of hypotheticals though.
I think it was JSU that was on when we were discussing this, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it too. He said that if you play Warriors, you have to pick Poole or Curry, that you never roster them together. Do you kind of feel the same way?
Yeah, they're definitely negatively correlated. So that makes sense.
Yeah, he said, if you're going to play them, you got to choose one. You don't run, right? Like you could get away with running some other stars together, right? You could run like a DeRozan. Well, that wouldn't be a good one because Levine's not getting there. But there's other stars you can play together. He said that Curry and Poole are not it. So that is it. That is the NBA slate. Bobby, we usually do like a core, but let's be honest, it's going to get thrown out the window. So what I'm going to tell everyone to do is if you do want access to Bobby's plays, you need to head over to runpuresports.com because at 3:45 my time, 6:45 Eastern, when I don't even know if all the news is fleshed out, but when most of this news is fleshed out, you will get access to all the plays that Bobby and the rest of the team is posting. And let's say, we talked about some stuff today. You can ask him questions in the Discord like, hey, Bobby, I saw this, and he's going to be quick to answering you. They do the 2v2s, the 3v3s. And I always, when you guys come on, I try and give you, tough questions. My one today was at Jokic or Embiid. It wasn't the toughest here, but, we like to do that. But guys in the Discord are doing it with the coordinators all day. So head over to runpuresports.com, use the promo code GETBETS to become a member. With that being said, it is time for the best bets. Tyler, would you like to start with your best bet?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that Sabonis over 11.5 rebounds. I just think he's going to feast on Washington's front court today. I think it's one of the games we could see him get like 15 rebounds.
All right, Sabonis over 11.5 rebounds. Bobby, would you like to give your best bet, side total or prop?
Yeah, I like Capella's over on rebounds in the Timberwolves game. So that was where I'd be leaning.
All right, so we've got a Sabonis over rebounds, Capella over rebounds, and before we leave, make sure you guys are in the chat. Not in the chat, in the comment box, right? In the comments on YouTube, put your best bet there, right? So you've heard Tyler's, you've heard Bobby's. Now you're going to hear mine, but put yours in there. Make sure you're following the Run Pure Bets account and retweet the show link, and we will have the t-shirt giveaway tomorrow. So you've heard their two best bets. My best bet is the Los Angeles Clippers -3. I'm just not high on this Portland team without Dame Lillard. I think a trade is imminent. So we will see what is going on with this team. But like I said, without Dame, man, they're like the Kings or the Thunder they're just a team that's just not really, maybe not the Thunder, but they're just a team that's not that good. I'm going to be fading them again with the Clippers team that, remember, right? These teams like to chirp at each other. I don't think the Clippers are going to look past the spot, right? They've had plenty of history dating back to the bubble, although Pat Bev's no longer on the team, right? They were chirping each other in the gyms. Then they were going home and getting online and chirping each other there. I think there's going to be a lot of emotion and intensity in this game, and I will take the better team. the Los Angeles Clippers. Put your best bets in the comment to qualify for our t-shirt giveaway. Tyler, anything else before we get out of here?
Nope, just like and subscribe to the channel. We'll have more videos tomorrow. What we got? NFL and NBA again tomorrow?
Yeah, but tomorrow our NFL will probably be after this show. We're not going to go in the morning, but you and I will discuss that, and I will put that out on Twitter and, of course, in the Run Pure Bets Discord. Bobby, do you want to let everyone know where you'll be producing content for Run Pure Sports this week?
Yeah, we have the news dump on Friday, and then the Millie Show Saturday night.
Right, and Bobby's been doing great with those NFL lineups, so you don't want to miss that. Become a member to get access to all of Bobby Gomes' information. Use the promo code GETBETS. One more time, guys, follow the Run Pure Bets account. Go ahead, retweet the show link, and put a best bet in the comments, side total prop. We will be back with the t-shirt giveaway tomorrow. May all your wagers win.